Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. Quick little correction here. I think I have this set as each less than 0. That should be each greater than 0. And I think I even said each greater than 0. I just went ahead and selected the other one there. This is on the barreling station, by the way. Quick little fix there. Let's go ahead and take a blueprint of that. There's some other areas that need to be corrected. It's not that big of a deal, especially now that since we're not running really fast. But were we to get to that point at some point, whenever there's more barrels in here than one train can handle, that's when it would have been a problem. I think it's okay now, though. Let's see. Up here, we had you set to, let's see, that should be the red one, right? And that should be the red one. There's probably a number one of these little circuits like this that do need to be corrected and will be corrected over time. Sounds like a good in-betwixt episode to me. All right, so in this episode, we've got this whole area down here fairly cleared out. We've just got a whole bunch of power poles. Boy, look at that power pole placement. That's art right there. Very efficient. Yeah, we need to clean this out. I want to go ahead and get a science area set up where we can get our lab set up, so we'll have some place to send the science that we're going to generate to. And just a quick programming note, today should be Monday, if all goes to plan. I am moving to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule as opposed to a daily. I'm going to be on vacation, and I just don't know that I can pre-record enough videos to go for the full time. So yeah, sorry about that, but that's the way, unfortunately, it's going to have to go for a little bit. So let's see, we are down here. I'm going to clear out some of these power poles is what I'm going to do. We'll roll the intro, and I will see you shortly. Don't say it. Don't say it. There's nothing to be said here. These are things that happen. All right, well, it looks like we're getting some visits from our friends to the south. We have a biter base just right down here that the pollution is currently hitting, and I'm guessing where that's where that attack came from. I did manage to set up a wall down in this area with some of the extra turrets we had laying around in our starter base area. That unfortunately didn't help us a whole lot over here in the exposed power area. All right, but we'll set these turrets up here for now temporarily, and that should keep the power safe, at least through this episode, hopefully. All right, and I did set up a wood burner here for burning of excess wood. We had a whole bunch of it from clearing out this starter base area. Now, this will clog up right here. The wood will just stop until this last little cell right here drains out, and then once it gets drained out, that's going to fill up with the wood. And it looks like it takes a priority from this lower right-hand corner. So it does end up working out fine. All right, and then we come over here to our starter base area. And boy, it's hard to imagine that this was ever the starter base, that big spaghetti monstrosity. It's all just a beautiful green meadow right now. But we're going to see what we can do about that. So I already made a modification to this station. I just basically took it down an extra rail segment. Whenever it's lined up there, there's not enough room to fit this chain signal in here, and that one is kind of important. So I thought I'd move it down like this one right here. We can't fit in that chain signal there. It just doesn't work. We should probably do something about that. Someday we will. But this one right now is going to be dedicated to our sciences. We're going to build our lab setup here, and then all of our sciences are going to be delivered into this area. I was thinking about maybe setting up a station for each science, but I think with the way that this station was originally designed, I don't think we need to do that. I think we can actually deliver all of our sciences to the same station. It'll be fun to try. It works out really well in my head. The problem we were having with having the multiple different stations was the multiple different station names and the stations staying open. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. I guess we'll find out. So if all of our sciences are delivered to this station, We can then just pull them out using maybe like filter inserters or the filter loaders, but I don't think I'm going to do either of those things. Instead, we're going to go for a good old-fashioned sushi science setup. If you've followed my channel for a while, you may know that I have a slight unhealthy obsession with sushi stuff in Factorio. I'm getting better, but it's still a thing. Let's see, that's 18. That would be 9. That's not an even number. Can we make like a couple more labs? That would be fantastic. Oh, we can make all kinds of labs. What are we talking about here? Let's do an even 20. I think that'll work out fairly well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then a space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and we'll run a belt through the middle of it here. So in a typical science setup, or one like that I would usually do, I would generally have probably 4 belts coming in to feed the science labs. I'd have one that had red and green science on it, one that had blue and black science on it, one that had purple and yellow, and one that had space. And the labs would grab off of all those belts. In a sushi setup, what you do is you have one belt going around, and then all of our sciences go and share on that one belt. Now, there are a couple of technical challenges involved in this sort of setup. One, you gotta make it to where the belt's moving all the time, so the labs can get the things that they need. But also, you have to make sure that they're distributed in a way such that the labs don't get in a deadlock situation. Where the belt is backed up and none of the labs can actually grab anything where things are currently on the belt. So those are a couple of things we're going to try to avoid. Now, there are a number of belt-based solutions, but I prefer the circuit-based just for reasons. I mean, yeah, some are better, some are worse. This is just the way that I like to do it. So feel free to look up other belt designs. In my creative series, I go over a number of the belt designs that are out there. And even in the Impractical series, I think I used a belt design for the science aspect of it. But I'm doing the circuit ones because that's what I like. So the idea behind the circuit one that I always use is we're going to count the things that we put on the belt. We're going to set a number that we want on this belt, and we're going to count them as they get added, and then we're going to subtract them as they get taken away. So that always, our circuit is basically just trying to stabilize the amount of science that is currently on this belt. So let's start with the takeaway part, because that one is fairly straightforward. I'm going to throw some inserters down here, 1 per lab. I'm going to throw a power pole down here. And then I'm going to wire these 4 inserters up to this power pole. And I'm going to set them to just read their hand contents as a pulse. That's it. That's all I want them to do. Now, what these are going to end up doing is these are going to be our subtractors. So whenever one of these inserters grabs something off of the belt, they're going to send a pulse back to our counter that we are going to turn negative. And then that will subtract from the number of items that are on the belt. All right, so this green wire here is going to be our subtraction wire. I'm just going to make sure that everybody is set. You are just reading your hand contents. All right, I think that's good. All right, then we are going to want, let's set up our little control area here. I want a decider combinator as well as an arithmetic combinator. This decider combinator is going to be a memory cell, so I'm going to wire the input to the output. And I'm going to say for each thing greater than 0, I'm going to output each. And for you, I'm going to take each input coming in. I'm going to multiply that by a -1 and then output each. So this is our counter and our Decra counter. So this is the one we want hooked up to this green wire. And then we will send that into the back of this combinator. And that'll work splendidly. All right, I'm gonna throw some power down here, but I'm not gonna hook everything up yet because we need to decide what else we need here. All right, I want a combinator, just a constant combinator. Let's put it right there. And I want just all the sciences in here, just a signal for all of those. So red, green, black, blue, purple, yellow, and space science. Even though we don't have these yet, we can go ahead and calculate those. And then I want an arithmetic combinator here where we can go and set the number of items that we want running on the belt at any given time. So I'm going to take each signal coming in and I'm going to multiply that by, let's start with like, I don't know, maybe like 20, 25. Let's go 20. Let's make it a nice even number. And I'm going to go ahead and make that negative. We could negate it elsewhere, but I think I'm going to go ahead and make it negative there. So that's just going to multiply that 1 times each one of those. And then if we want more science on the belt, we can go through and modify this number. Make it, I would say make it greater, but actually it would be make it less since it's a negative number. All right, so there are those guys. All right, and then I want to throw a decider combinator here. And then one here. And I want to say, for you, if you're greater than 0, I want you to output 1. And you, if you are less than 0, I want to output 1. These are our guys that are asking the questions. Like in the very first episode we had, that station set up. So this one is going to say, do I need it? So if this plus this is negative, that means we need it, and we're going to get an output signal of 1 saying that we need it. Now this one's going to be the do we have it? So this is going to read this chest right up here, and then output that if we actually have that. Now, we've got some science up here. Let's just go ahead and throw it in there to kind of, just so we get our signals, so we can make sure they're right. There, and there. All right, so now we're getting 1s on the red, green, black, and blue sciences. Since we have those, we're getting it on all the sciences here because we actually need those. And then we can throw another decider combinator right here that says each signal equals 2. We can go ahead and output 1 of each. And you are going to read the output of that combinator as well as the output of that combinator. All right, so we are getting signals on the red, green, the black, and the blue, which is what we'd expect since those are the ones that we have, and we need them all. Okay, let's see. I want... can we make a stack filter inserter? I know we're making them in the mall. Well, let's do a just regular filter inserter right now. And I want to send you... You're going to send out... where do I want to put it? It totally doesn't matter. Let's put it over here. You're going to send out to a belt. We are going to put that into here, maybe like right there. And I want to put an additional little thing right here because I do want to do one of these like fake little lane balancers here to make that get onto both sides of the belt. All right, we'll set the right-hand side here to fish. This is to just block anything from coming out of this side right here. because we can get science that ends up in this little no man's land here that doesn't count. It counts in the counter, but it's never going to get taken away, so it'll throw our counts off. So you see me use these little fish filters from time to time. That's what those are all about. All right, and then we will hook this up to you. And I want you to set your filters based off of that. But let's see, reading the hand contents, is that going to... Is this going to work? Let's see, do a pulse there. And then I would set this up to the back of the counter. I'm not confident that's going to work. We'll see. Let's go ahead and get this guy up and running. We'll put a power pole there to get that powered. We need the green signal coming up and into the back of this combinator that's doing our subtracting. And, is that it? Let's see. We should be able to just set this to set filters, and it should start working. It's not working. Why is it not working? Because it's getting... Okay, I see the problem. Yeah, the signals are getting... It's reading from this guy right here. All right, so equals greater than 0. We'll reset that counter. We want you right there. And I guess what we probably need to do instead is take a red wire from the belt to right there and set you to read the belt contents on a pulse. So it'll read it as soon as this guy... we might actually have to move that down. We'll see if that works. A lot of testing here. I don't know if it's going to read it if it gets pasted. Oh, we'll see. Let's see. Let's throw our red science back in here. Our counter has been reset. Okay, we're back to 0 here. All right, let's set you to set your filters, and we'll see if this works. Okay, that looks like it's working. So you need the black, you need the blue. Okay, now we're just down to the blue science. These guys are taking, so it's starting to add more red. Excellent. I think it's working. Yeah, so as these guys actually grab the science, they're sending that negative pulse, that's going down, and then the priority is being hit again. As they're grabbing red and greens, it all gets taken away. Excellent. Now, what I'm not sure of is if one inserter is going to be enough. We might have to set up multiples. But I think for now, this is doing exactly what I want. And since we're limiting the number, this belt never gets filled up. And we don't have to worry about deadlock, and the distribution over time is going to even itself out. Probably want to bump that up a bit. Let's see, to bump it up, we should just have to modify this number. So let's say we want 30 of each science out on the belt. And then that'll go and adjust accordingly. All right, and then we could just have this one station right here. And then we want... a red signal there. Boy, how much science a minute do we want? Oh, that's a silly question. 60 science a minute is what we're shooting for. So this calculation turns out to be rather easy. 60, 60, 60, 60, and finally 60. All right, that's going to calculate out to what? 600 and 180. All right, that seems reasonable, and all of those are going out on the system, except they're not, because we do have a lot of green and red science in there. Makes total sense. All right, we currently can't research anything because we've researched all that we can research, but once we get the purple science up and running, we'll be able to see if that works. And we do need more labs, but I think for now, this is going to be fine. All right, let's see. Let's go. Do I have my tank on me? That's a question I have. I do. Do we have some more bullets? Not very many. Boy, I thought there would be a lot more in here. I guess we did just put a lot of them in the turrets. All right, let's grab a little bit of coal. Let's grab a lot of coal and maybe some grenades. Maybe we'll try some grenade tanking. That might be fun. Tank, fuel, bullets. All right, let's go down here to the south and pay a visit to our little friends that decided to try to take on our power supply. Oh no, I've got the bots on. Why aren't we shooting? All right, there we go. That's much better. I need to go get all these spitters taken care of first. All right, what have we learned? Pay attention to where you're at before you go and attack. Make sure you have your gun selected, and make sure you have your robots turned off. Otherwise, they just get eaten up. All right, let's try this again. Boy, grenades don't seem terribly effective against the worms, do they? Seem to be a little bit more effective against the ground biters than they are against worms. Do we need to take these guys out? Probably not. Anybody else getting a little bit scary? Those guys up there are. Just had to get one last little thing in, didn't you there, worm? That's okay, I probably deserve it. Oh, expansion! Good thing we caught that one. That one was right in the pollution area. Okay, I'm going to take the wide way around here just to see if there's any more of those sneaky little expansions that have shown up. That group to the north is just worms, if I recall correctly. Is that the one? No, it's this one right here. Okay, we're heading right toward it. Let's go ahead and slow down a little bit and get a little bit of repair going. Might set up a little bit of a turret wall. Just as a little bit of added protection. Actually, these guys might work for a turret wall. Let's see. Let's come over to this side. All right, there you are right there. Or if that's going to be close enough. Oh, bad things. Bad things. Go. My bullets disappeared. They were right there. I don't know where they ended up going. It kind of threw me off a little bit there. All right, let's try this again. Let's get our bots out. Let's take out those ghosts. I guess they might have went into the tank. Is that possible? Come on, little robot. You're almost home. All right. I think you're all right. I was rooting for you. All right. Well, that's just a mess of worms up there. I don't think, I think that'll teach them. That'll keep them out of our hair at least for a little while. We're getting a little close in this area up here, but, in this area over here, but I'm not, it looks like all this stuff is fairly well defended. All right, so let's head on back, and I guess we'll start working on our sciences. I'm pretty excited to finally get started on that. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Have a good one.